an aggro druid here now. This is from Hearthstone replay that I got this current build that we're looking at. Aggro druid works to use two big cards here, Oracle of Elune, so that when you play a minion it costs 2 or less, you get a copy of it, and Razor Main Battle Guard. So these two cards work pretty well together. You play Oracle of Elune for 3 mana, then you play Razor Main Battle Guard for 2 more, that's 5 mana. You'll get 2 Razor Mains, and then any taunt minion that you have that's 4 or less is going to be free, and you're going to get 2 of them. So, Dreaming Drake is in this version of the deck. Hopefully you get a Drekthar first or an Armor Up. This will also be cheaper when you use the Razor Main. You can take it down to 1, play something else that is not a taunt that costs 2, like your Carpenter or Composting, and then that would trigger the Corrupt on the Dreaming Drake, so that's something you might want to do too. And some little tricks in these kind of decks. So the Soil, you can use it first turn for a minion, or you can use it to boost up your final attack. This is pretty good stuff. Quick deck, nothing costs more than 5. The Arbor Up is the most expensive card. Drekthar, there's only 1 of them. Use a perk because you get 3 minions for 4 mana, so that's pretty good. Alright, so that's the deck. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start playing it. This has got a 68% win rate according to Hearthstone replay. This is going up the ladder.
Malfurion versus Jaina!
My sorcery will prevail.
I must protect the wild.
Alright, so you do want to keep Oracle of Elune. You don't need 2 of them. Composting, you'd like to draw into this card, ideally, not have it in your hand. So, I'm going to keep just the 1 Oracle for now. Early game pulls, you want a minion to put out first turn is nice, like a peasant or a squirrel. Second turn, you do have some options, so since I have everything I need, we're looking at turn 5. Or I can push and put out Razormane and Pack Mule back to back. If I do that, I'll be relying on Adorable Infestation. I'm actually going to go this route because he's going to shoot the Battle Bow. That'll tap him. And then I'll be able to do 4 or 5 next turn. With some little 1/1s on the board. It's good if he has to waste some kind of advantage that he has, so if I can make him ping a 1 drop with those instead, I'll do it.
Job done.
So for 3 mana, he's got options, but not a lot that are going to add up to doing 5 damage.
You don't break the wand, silly.
It's easy for him. I want to take out the 2/2.
The Seed
So,
Law be its own threat.
that. And he's gonna do something fancy enough next turn to get rid of the Pack Mule.
Job
But it's an
done.
odd amount of damage, so if he wants to use like a Flame Strike or a Board Wipe, there's not an easy 4 damage one. Would have been convenient drawing that a little later, I think, but maybe the board is a small enough threat that he's trying to catch anything. think that 2/2 is a goner. That treant there is perfect size for a fireball. But the 1/1s might be left alone.
I can take them. Wait, not all
Nope.
of them.
That's a very nice card. I like this card. Once you use your Wildfire, Reckless Apprentice makes it pretty worth it. This would work well against Paladin too, or other aggro decks. So I guess this is not a good option, but it's the only option I've got right now.
Job done.
So 2/4/3s for 5 mana. It's still not bad mana wise, although you're missing out on pumping up all the minions that could have been there. So 3/5 takes out 4/3 pretty easily, and a Fireball and the one Thief take out the other one. So unless he's got something easy.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
He didn't need to use it, but
Reflect in the moonwell.
My thanks.
that's just a shot in the dark right there. Just kill it and I'll get a card. That damage 7 mana. It could be a white. It works really well against.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
My thanks. The seed lore be its own treasure.
Great.
Step up!
Hell yeah. Keep putting stuff out. Keep making them work for it. Squirrels are nice. Composting works with squirrel. So, the 4 acorns you get back, you'll be able to have a chance to draw them right away. If you get 3 minions on the board, composting is definitely worth it. You could even use it for 2. But I up until now, I've never actually used it for 1.
You can't stop this snowstorm!
What a magic moment.
You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
+1. Should have done it the other way around. Wowing.
What a magic moment.
For the
What a
wild!
magic moment.
That's an upgrade.
There.
Probably.
Job done.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
No problem. No problems there. Thank you.
My thanks to you.
I'm right back at you. Happy Feast of Winter Vale to you. too.
Happy Feast of
I
Winter
can
Vale.
take them. Wait, not all of them.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
I've heard of it.
Alright.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
My thanks to you. For the wild.
Never know what you're going to draw next. I don't think I'm going to win. His card advantage is huge. But I want to give him the opportunity to, end it out. Maybe he's got a daily.
Planets and stars! Power for the
Me
taking!
tusk won't stop shattering. Me tusks won't stop shattering.
Okay.
Reflect in the
What
moonwell.
is it? For the wild. What is it?
Finish
Job
it.
done.
It's 10 damage. You've got 10 on the board right now. So, you've got lethal. Go ahead.
You fight me.
Quick survey.
You get
Who here
burned.
lets people finish out the game? Even when they do stuff like this.
Turn it up.
right.
I concede.
Sorry, man. I don't have dailies to do. Okay. Well, not the best opening hand. So let's keep giving it a shot here. At least we know this. First match against Mage, we did not win. That looked like Mizaki Mage.
Malfurion versus Maiev!
None can escape my fury.
I must protect the wild.
Alright, Peasant's nice first turn. Because he'll definitely... My opponent would have to use a coin or something to get it out. Drekthar, okay. And Cog Merchant. I'm gonna say no on that. It could do 1 damage to something. Maybe if they have a pinger out. We're gonna go Peasant first turn, and second turn hopefully we get something taunt. Ooh.
What is it? Job done.
So this will either draw out the coin so that he can equip a weapon, or he'll let it go. But Rogue loves coins, so this would be nice to slow him down a turn. This is a perfect time to put out a taunt. Oh wow. I like squirrels. They're good. They're good early game. So
Righto.
that'll be good. These two ones, they're nice because Rogue does a lot of damage, but they'll do 2 damage to things here and there. So they have to use their weapon to do that precision 1. So there's always going to be some wasted damage that could have been sent to my face. Well,
What is it?
let's go for attack because he's using weapons. So he doesn't have the immunity weapon yet. When he gets that, it won't matter. Right now, he's going to use some kind of a poison. Probably the draw card one. It's pretty popular early on. This deck likes to draw cards and then use Garrote. So he'll get some kind of momentum. Ideally, he'll have both. Whenever his hero attacks, he draws cards, enchantments on this weapon.
Another happy guildie.
They'll also be, if they're using all the tradable stuff, they'll be using that 3/3 rusher. That'll be a guy to watch out for. There's the Garrote. This used to be 3 cards, 3 damage, I think? Or 3 cards, 2 damage? Alright. On turn 5, I'll be able to play the Oracle, Battle Guards, and the Noyatron. So I can always, at this point, I'll be able to refill my board if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and play Drekthar. See what I get out of that. You can get 2 of anything, so right here is super convenient. Got that big target on my board. There you go. That's good to get it that early. He didn't get any spell damage on me. If they can do the Garrote with spell damage, the upside is it's at their leisure since it's in their deck.
I concede.
Alright. Good, good. Yeah. Alright, so 1-1.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan!
Your soul shall be mine. I must protect the wild.
You don't want Encumbered Pack Mule in your opening hand because you don't get the copy of it when you draw it. We're not going first, so Peasant doesn't have as much of an advantage. With 3 mana and not much else, Dreaming Drake is not where we want to be. You want the Oracle, you want the Razorback before you do that. So you're really looking at turn 4 before you'd use this. Turn 5, really, I think. So Og Merchant. This will be okay. We'll just keep the Peasant. Okay, well, I guess I can put out 2 minions this turn and 2 minions the next turn.
What is it?
I'd like to lay down 3 damage. I don't think that they have any
Wait for no one.
on turn 2. So I'm looking to hit.
I have things you never knew you wanted.
I'm gonna get that 5 out. This is a real rush, it's a real risk I'm taking, but I'm going for the combo. I'm gonna take out. Here's my odds at least having the Annoyatron alive. It'll be Sow the Soil, composting, so I'll at least have 2 off of it, but I might get 4. Alright, I got my 4. That's pretty secure there. With that many cards, if he doesn't wipe him out some unconventional way where they don't do their death rattle, it's going to be a pretty solid 5 cards that I'll be able to get later on turn 4 up.
They break so easily.
Destroy Razorback. Okay. There's too much of a good thing as possible, so we'll just I'm trying to win here, so I can Sow the Soil +1 on everything else and do another composting. That'd be pretty good. Let's do our damage first. So there's that. I'm already having tons of cards that I can draw, so I don't really need the risk of drawing more as a problem, but you know what? He's so close to death. That's really good. I don't even think I need to worry about boosting that more. I've just gotten down to 6 already on turn 4. That's so quick. No squirrels yet, right? That would be nice if there were already squirrels in the graveyard. I need a library. There we go.
More bones to gnaw on.
Well played. This time.
Okay. And even without the arbor up, we have it. Turn 5 would have had lethal. Okay. The other Jody Moon I see in the room.
Malfurion versus Thrall.
My elements are frightful. I must protect the wild.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I love Dreaming Drake in here. No. Maybe. I'm just gonna go ahead and None of this really goes with. I'm looking for my Oracle. Got that. So Shaman, they have a lot of spells and things that do 3 damage. So ideally, I'll just be keeping my minions around the 2 health with 3 attack. 3 twos would be good. Or 4, so that they could survive. You'll have to get trickier. A lot of shaman that I've been seeing doesn't even go
What is it?
with the quest
Job's
anymore.
done.
They'll just go elemental. It's surprising how by the time you get the spells, the overload and everything that you need for the quest, you don't have a lot of spells that doubling make a big difference. Usually it's something like a dunk tank or um, something larger, like more swing, like on a Wind Fury weapon, a Rock Lighter Axe or something. Well, that worked out really well. Lightning Storm is for reals, so I think I'll just put out. I could do Razormane, Battle Guard, and Pack Mule, but if he does Lightning Storm, that'll just be pretty empty. So I'm just gonna use the attack. I'm favoring 3s, so if he's gonna use like a lightning bolt or something like that, he's gonna have a little bit of extra wasted damage. What's he gonna do? I don't like to leave good targets on the board, you know. Turn 5 is when I'm looking at playing Oracle and Razormane, but since I have 2 of them, I'm not gonna get any more Razormanes than what I've got in my hand right now. So I gotta be cautious with how I play it. And Dreaming Drake, if I were to draw one, say turn 5, I'd play Razormane, then I'd play Encumbered Pack Mule, or not Encumbered Pack Mule, something 2 mana, right? I was saying composting, it's got to be a non-taunt. So Jerry Rig Carpenter would probably be one of the better ones to get. And then after that, the Drake will have Metas Corrupt. I would have lost my Razormane, my Encumbered Pack Mule if I'd have done that too. Okay. Well... I think I'll just go with a Razormane and Mule. So I could play the Druid of the Reef, but turning it into a 3-1 rush and getting 2 of them next turn as a possibility with that Oracle would be important.
Happy Feast of Wintervale.
Sorry for taking so long. He's a little tapped out though. Probably should have considered that with 1 mana he wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. Probably, oh, okay. Good.
Could you repeat that?
Didn't get to do that with the lightning bolt though. Spell damage minion. So there's an elemental that's a full 4 that you draw a spell on, so I like that guy a lot. Okay, so squirrels are nice. I'd like to have 2 of them, ideally from the Oracle, but I'm not going to be able to do all that this turn. So I think I'll just
The Seed Lord be its own
take that first read, deal Faceroo, take a little extra damage, and play just a single squirrel.
Job's done.
He's not a taunt minion anyway, so I wouldn't be able to play him on 5th turn with the Razormane. Really now what I'd be looking for would be good taunt.
For vengeance.
Bone Sure might not be bad. Noeatron. Avoid that free damage, like just been. Hmm. Well, there aren't a lot of other options, so. Swirl. And
I see you are a seasoned fighter.
I'm just thinking about the spell damage options here. They don't have a spell that does 2 damage to everything. So normally they'd just be able to lightning storm anyway. And I don't really see the value in taking out a 1/1 with a 4/2. But I could do that next turn with a weapon. So let's see. His hand advantage is going to be a problem for me. One of the downsides to Aggro Druid is it doesn't have like a mechanic that gets you an advantage later in the game. It doesn't have a quest that pans out and now your spells are double or anything like that. It's just quick at the beginning of the game, and if you don't manage to take advantage of that to defeat your opponent, then it's going to be a struggle.
The storm is in me.
Swipe would be great if it were still around. I'd love to have a swipe next turn. I'd swipe you out most of that board. And I'll tell you, good old days when you could swipe it there.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Nature and what kind of spells did he play? Nature, fire. Thought there was a third type of spell in there too. Arcane. Nice. All right. So here is. At least we got some of the things that we would need. So if he has a lightning storm, this is going to be pretty anticlimactic defense. But if he doesn't, you'll have to work for it a little bit. Let's see. Usually, if you're needing to hold the enemy off, you'd rather have a Noeatron than Pac-Meal. Composting would be if I was like one turn later and I had a composting, that would have been pretty sweet. But I don't think his board looks pretty good. Perpetual Flame seems pretty nice. I don't think this is going to be easy to turn around. All right, let's just put up a weak.
For the wild.
Weak little defense. So, with no hand, no means to even generate like a composting to come back from, I would say this is a pretty good indicator that I've run out of steam.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
Okay, this might make some kind of difference.
Our enemies will meet their ancestors.
Minions
You
here that
gotta
might
be
make a
scrappy
difference.
with scraps.
I see you are a seasoned
For the wild.
fighter.
At the very least, it's super last ditch effort, but he's a 2 defender and a lot of my minions are 2 attack, so it makes the trade a little easier if it's gonna happen. That feels like a dunk tank, the way it was aimed at my face, but okay. That should be lethal now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, on the board.
The elements unbound flow through me.
He can get another lightning bolt off if he had it. Now I know he's winning, so it's not really the point, but for the rest of the game he was also cast twice. He had to do a lightning bolt in order to get that trigger. So if he didn't play the quest, he would have just... The biggest difference was unlocking his mana crystals with the first quest fulfillment. That's pretty much what you get out of it for most of the game. So 2-2. Quest Shaman. There we go.
Malfurion versus Illidan.
It isn't over between us, brother. You have much to answer for.
Alright. Dreaming Drake, Jerry Rig Carpenter. I'll keep the Bone Chewer Brawler. So we're playing against Demon Hunter. Since he's real attack based, it doesn't hurt you to have some taunts out there that he has to fight. On some occasions, you might get to economize Bone Chewer Brawler, and you can combo it up with Guardian Augmenter, Aug Merchant. Those two work well. You end up getting a 4-2 Divine Shield taunt that only gets angry if you can break his shield. My opponent is just apparently got a lot of decisions to make. I don't know if they're AFK or they're just having some issue. I can't emote yet though. Hey.
Happy Feast of Winter Vale.
And I don't like getting Encumbered Pack Mule in the opening hand again. It doesn't copy itself.
Step up!
So he's got to do all 3 damage at once, or he's not... It won't be good to finish it off with his weapon.
That should upgrade. Probably.
And because he may take a lesser target as a consolation prize, I could do this. I could equip this. I don't ideally want the 3-2 to die.
Get knocked down!
And take something out. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the pack mule here. A lot of the time the 3-2 is gonna give you like a slug, one of the ones that lets the adventurers out, or the snake that does 1 damage to everything when it dies. There is another Quillbore that's a 3-coster that summons something that's 4 or less from your hand. It's usually a pretty good pull. Piggyback Imp is like super popular. Druid can take the hit on this one. That's pretty much what you end up having to do. Right, so...
Operation!
I'm thinking the nicest thing to do here... 2 3-1s maybe? 2 rushers? 2 taunters? Take this guy out. I think it's a little early for the Oracle, unless I want to play Druid of the Reef right now. They have do 2 damage to the lowest cost minion. let's take out.
Operation!
He's gonna ping the shield.
Operation!
Twice. Time waits for no one.
The Seed Lord be its own treasure.
Get knocked down!
I would have liked to have talked about what I was doing there more, but I spent too much time thinking. So ideally, I wanted to leave him with a little bit on the board. Couldn't kill everything, so I wanted to
This is
leave
our chance!
one minion on the board that couldn't kill
This is our chance!
Brawler. So this will put 2 of those taunts out. Is that going to be enough? If I wait one more turn and I draw something else, 5 mana is a lot. I'm going to have to rush things here and do an Oracle with
Reflect
Brawler.
in the
Step
moonwell.
up! Step up!
He'll probably get my Oracle this turn, but next turn, so the Soil, Arbor up, I should have... I can't imagine his board's going to be great if he has to clear mine.
I see.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Crystal clear.
I feel like it'd be better to keep his board empty, but... So,
Job done.
there is a combo that this Demon Hunter uses. They upgrade their hero abilities so that whenever a minion
Aim
attacks,
for the wheels.
they can boost their attack too. They make their hero power cost 1 less with this guy here. So if you see one of these, you gotta kill it. If he's playing this now, I don't know if that means he's in danger or he doesn't know how to play the deck. I'm not sure. But I mean, I don't want to play my second Oracle and the composting, but I don't want to waste mana. Okay. Second Oracle. His health is pretty low.
Reflect in the
Go
moonwell.
this way. I don't want his hero power to cost less. That is... They have a minion that they trigger. All that way, that's 12, 13. Is he going to be able to kill me next turn? Take out all my minions without any of his? I don't know. I want to go for it. My health be good.
For the wild.
Board is not great. He'll be able to take out an Oracle. I'll draw off of it. There's still lethal on the board. And weapons to kill. This is that combo that they use. They will all die. You'll get the summon bonus.
Enjoy your final moment.
So, as long as I can put out more taunt minions, I'm gonna be okay. 2
Battle guards, hold the line!
See, I needed something that wasn't taunt. Just gotta get that corrupt. Alright, well let's just load the board up with taunt stuff. See if that makes any difference. It's got to be more than 7 damage. I think we're good.
What is it?
Okay. So if he uses hero power, upgrades the ability, those 6 that he wants to attack with, he still has more expendable performers that he could use. This is pretty much the biggest part of the combo. He needs to play both expendable performers. I mean, at this point, I guess Arbor Up would be great. I'm doing pretty slow here, even though I got the advantage.
The Seed Lord be its own
For the wild.
I'm not attacking the minion. I'm just relying on that 3-1 to hit his face next turn. Oh, come on now. These are supposed to be quick games.
Alas, poor warlock.
Now, did he play that? Yes, he did. Okay. The nice thing about this kind of deck is, as a plan A, sure, you're trying to win with the combo. Nice win condition, expendable performers.
Aim for
As
the
long as there's a good attack in, you're good. He didn't even draw his, or he didn't even use his card yet. Well, that's just terrible. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna concede. Good game.
I
You got me.
concede.
I'm not getting through a 2-4 taunt with nothing. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm gonna say I don't like Dreaming Drake in there. It's too situational for a deck that has options. I don't like to see less options. So this was a 2 and 3. I like Aggro Druid. I don't like some of the cards that are in the Hearthstone replay version right now, but that's the number 1 right now, so I guess you gotta be tricky. Number 1 for Aggro Druid. Alright, well, thank you for watching the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and log off now, but there will be more to follow.